Look at the gorgeous tulips. Beautiful. I can't thank enough for these flowers to come up again and again without any effort. I'm really happy with these. They came up on time and still some of the buds yet to mature. I forgot the name of this plant. This has been coming again and again last 5 years, on time, very promptly. No care is needed apart from that weed to be pulled off. The potatoes I planted in January, they are early crop, meaning I'm going to harvest them in either mid-May or end of May. They're not going to give me a big potatoes. These are the like small baby potatoes where I can eat them either in these cabbages and cauliflowers. They're doing really great and they're growing so fast. These broccolis, marathon variety, I can see them forming a small tiny heads. It's too early, but they are doing well. And on the other side I have other broccoli variety called Bell Star. Garlic is really doing well, and these are all soft neck garlic, and I bought them from the shop, Asian shop, and then planted them. So far so good. These are the onions I planted in November. These are called Shakespeare overwintering onions, and I filled some gaps the other side with Indian onions and shallots, the tiny ones. They're doing well. These are multi-sown onions. I planted 3 in each hole, and don't worry about these big leaves in the middle. They are leftover potatoes in the ground last year, and these onions, they're trying to settle down slowly. These coriander plants and spring onions in the middle, and beetroots, high dense planting, they're all doing well. These beetroots are basically taking their time because of the nighttime weather coming down to 3 degrees and 4 degrees, sometimes even not 0 yet. And these are my perpetual spinach I planted last year, and these are Swiss chard. They started picking up the growth, and also in between I planted spring onions. This is my cold frame. Look at the spinach. There are 2 different varieties in there. This spinach I planted last year in November and still harvesting plenty. And some of these seedlings I planted a month back and they picked up really well. This is another cold frame, little bit taller than other 2, and the spinach I planted in last week of March, and this is Chukka Koora. I directly put the seeds in the ground. And look at this coriander seedlings. Somebody gave me 4 years back, harvested from the allotment. I put them, somehow they managed to come. And these are the corianders I planted in December first week in a modules, and I transferred them here in February. Look at this. I've been harvesting them almost every 4 days. Look at this beautiful lettuces. You wouldn't believe, I've been picking them. Look at that corner. I picked them in the afternoon for my chickens. They love it. And these ones, they grow up in 2 days because of the cold frame heat. You notice here, these 2 plants are aubergine plants. I planted them, I think 2 days back. This is the British variety called Bonica. The one you get in supermarket, a big one, really big one. I just wanted to give it a try, see whether it survives with a little bit of temperature inside the cold frame. I got some backup plants in case if they don't survive. I'm going to plant the rest. So in the middle of these rows, I'm going to plant aubergines on the other side, and this side chilies. That's the plan. This is my bottle gourd dudi bed. I planted some lettuces, they're picking up. I will plant dudi in the middle of those plants, so I don't need to worry about pulling these things. This is my perennial kale called Tantandine. It basically came from the cutting from my friend, and it's doing really well. This is my kale bed. Planted them I think a week ago. They started picking up the growth. Look at this parsley and radish in the middle. It's beautiful. And I got coriander and spring onions. Again in the middle coriander, and this is Chukka Koora from India. Spring onions there, and again Chukka Koora. Methi this side. You can see 2 rows in the middle, again radishes. And this is Indian palak, Indian spinach, 2 rows in there. And that's a Swiss chard I planted here and there. The one from module, but these are directly sown in the ground itself. This is the banana plant I covered with the dried grass, hay, and then I put plastic cover on top of it, and this is properly survived, so that did work. The banana plant I kept inside the greenhouse during the winter, and it started coming up now properly. Look at this dahlias and carrots, and these ones are just popping up. The dahlia, it took some frost, and dahlias again. These are another variety of carrots I sowed in January. There's one batch here. This is different variety again. This is the strawberry bed. Plenty of flowers everywhere, and if the weather goes this way, like 15 to 14 degrees in the daytimes and 5 to 7 degrees in the night times, you get fruit bit early. Generally you get June, but if they go like this, maybe end of May or mid-May, you may have the fruit for the harvesting. This is my seedless grape plant. I bought 3 last before year, only 1 survived. I don't know the color of the grape. Blackberry is doing good, and I can see lots of small tiny fruit formation everywhere. The raspberry sprouts are just started coming up, for good sign. And this one is a yellow color raspberry, and tastes very sweet. And this one is Loganberry, and I can see a lot of fruit forming. And this year I will have some fruit. Last year I didn't get any because it's the first year last year, so this year I'm going to get some fruit out of it. And again, these raspberries are picking up. These are the late variety, that means August and September. Gooseberry plants, you can see the small tiny fruit, lots of fruit, and I prune them vertically so that it makes it easy for me to harvest the fruit and also manage easily. I got multiple plants, different varieties of the gooseberries, and in the middle I planted some strawberries. They are doing well as well. All these are, look at this fruit, plenty of fruit forming. And last 2 plants, these are, one is a black currant and one is red currant. There are 2 plants, you can see already fruit formed, looking good. This is the purple color gooseberry, and these 2 as well, purple color gooseberries. And This is my blueberry. So far so good. I can see a lot of flower. I don't know how many of them will convert into fruit. And this one is pink color blueberry, looking good, no issues. Look at this beautiful mint. We've been harvesting, I think, last 3 to 4 weeks. We do it every 3 to 4 days and comes up very quickly because of the weather. The herb thyme, perennial, comes up again and again every year. This is sage, lemon balm and rosemary. 3 plants in one big pot. And there's another variety of sage, chives. Bed, you can see I planted last year, so I may have to look, they are popping up. I may have to cut this one, so it will take a couple of years for them to form properly. These are my peas, and in the middle I got kohlrabi. This year my peas I planted a bit late, they're slowly picking up. This is my broad beans bed, and you can see beetroots and lettuce in the middle of the beetroots. And broad beans, they started flowering now, no issues. And in the middle again, this side, broad beans. This is a crimson color variety. You can see red flowers, beetroots in the middle, lettuces, beetroots again. And this will be my dwarf bean bed. I put some beetroots in the middle. There will be dwarf beans sooner or later. These are salad leaves. They called crispy salad leaves. I planted them in, I think, first week of March, outside directly in this tray. Most of them came out. And if you see the other side, those are called polycress, and again they are salad variety. They came out really well. March, there's no temperature outside, but they did manage to come out. All these gladiolus is my sweet pea flowers, and all the perennial flowers, they started coming up. Lupin, this is Aquilegia, see some flowers, they're all started coming up, no issues at all. This is my greenhouse, lots of stuff sown, mostly they are beans, and these are marigold plants, different varieties. I planted 4 different varieties. The tomato plant, these 2 I planted last week, I think Sunday, 4 days back or 5 days back, so they settled down. And rest of the 3 plants I planted today, so they'll take a couple of days to settle down. This is the tomato plant I planted 2 days back in this pot. Every year in this greenhouse I basically grow a few tomato plants. And this is another tomato plant I planted in 2 weeks back, and you can see the flowers. These are my okra seedlings. They're doing well so far, no issues. These are my spinach seedlings, and you see spring onions, and these are pineberry crawlings. These are my cullets. They go in the middle of brassicas, and these are flowers nasturtium plants. And this one is fennel, brassicas, red cabbage and other cabbage, and this one is cucumber, somebody gave it to me. And these are cabbage Brussels sprouts, and these are different varieties of flowers, these 2 trays, and here as well. And these are nasturtium flowers, different varieties. And here the basil, crimson color and normal. And these are the chilies, American chilies, somebody gave it to me. And again some radishes and nasturtium, different color of flowers. And this one first time I'm trying, this is called New Zealand spinach. And these four are matador spinach. This is another greenhouse. This is self-blanching celery. These are the chilies and peppers. These 3 trays, got them from home greenhouse. And these 2 are aubergines. These 2 trays, got them from home. And those are the leeks I planted. I sowed a few days back. I think 9 days back. And here is another batch of leeks, different varieties. These are the tomato seedlings. They're gonna go on a ground or in a pot in the greenhouse. And those are my basil, outdoor variety, British variety. And this is my lemon plant. Those are banana pups we pulled out last year. They survived through the winter. There's one more here. And the strawberries, they're ripening. We already harvested few couple of days back. I'm going to put that in my harvesting video. And again, some of them are ripening. This powder is an organic powder to get rid of any aphids or prevent aphids from forming. Same thing here. And you see lots of flowers inside the greenhouse. These are my ridge gourd plants, Berakaya plants. These are cluster beans, Gorchikudu. And these are my main crop tomatoes. They just popping out. I don't want them to come up early, otherwise I have to protect them for a long. They go in the ground in first week of June or maybe second week of June. They'll go quickly because of the weather. And this one is my Karela plant. Only one came through out of 12 seeds I put. I don't know, maybe seeds are very old. Again, these are my red okra. These are green okra plants. Only 2 came through out of 12 seeds. Again, seeds could be very old. I think I got them in 2015. Still going on.